You don't understand. I'm aware that freedom to be an indiscriminate slave is anything but a simple idea. In order to progress from the status of faithful slave to a single master, and become an indiscriminate slave, you must first kill the individual oppressor, the Tsar for instance. You cannot commit such a political murder without revolutionary motives and a lofty ideal of freedom. Accordingly, you found a revolutionary freedom party under the leadership of a truly great man. Let's say Jesus, Marx, Lincoln or Lenin. This truly great man is dead serious about your freedom. If he wants practical results, he has to surround himself with little men, with helpers and executants, because the task is enormous and he can't handle it all by himself. Besides, you wouldn't understand him. You'd ignore him if he didn't gather little big men around him. Surrounded by little big men, he gains power for you, or a bit of truth, or a new and better faith. He writes testaments, issues laws to ensure freedom, counting on your help and serious willingness to help. He lifts you out of the social muck you've sunk into. In order to keep all the little big men together, and not to forfeit your confidence, the truly great man is compelled, little by little, to sacrifice the greatness he had achieved in profound spiritual solitude, far from you in your daily tumult, yet in close contact with your life. In order to lead you, he must let you worship him as an unapproachable God. You'd have no confidence in him if he went on being the simple man he was, if, for instance, he lived with a woman out of wedlock. Thus it is you who create your new master. Exalted to the rank of the new master, the great man loses his greatness, which consisted in integrity, simplicity, courage, and closeness to the realities of life. The little big men, who derive their prestige from the great man, take over the leading positions in finance, diplomacy, government, the arts and sciences. And you stay where you've been all along, in the muck. You continue to go about in rags for the sake of the socialist future, or the Third Reich. You continue to live in mud huts daubed with cow dung, but you're proud of your palace of people's culture. You're satisfied with the illusion that you hold power, until the next war and the downfall of the new masters. In far countries, little men have closely studied your longing to be an indiscriminate slave. It has taught them how to become little big men with very little mental effort. These little men were not born in mansions. They arose from your ranks. They've gone hungry like you, suffered like you, and they've found a quicker way of changing masters. For 100 years, truly great thinkers made unstinting sacrifices, devoting their minds and lives to your freedom and well-being. The little men from your own ranks have found out that no such effort is needed. What truly great thinkers had achieved in a century of hardship and earnest thought, they have managed to destroy in less than 5 years. Yes, the little men from your own ranks have found a shortcut. Their method is more blatant and brutal. They tell you in so many words that you and your life, your children and family, count for nothing, that you're a feeble-minded flunky to be treated as it suits them. They promise you not individual, but national freedom. They say nothing of self-respect, but tell you to respect the state. They promise you not personal greatness, but national greatness. Since individual freedom and individual greatness mean nothing to you, while national freedom and national interest stimulate your vocal cords in very much the same way as bones bring the water to a dog's mouth. The sound of these words make you cheer. None of these little men pays the price that Giordano Bruno, Jesus, Karl Marx or Lincoln had to pay for genuine freedom. They don't love you, little man. They despise you because you despise yourself. They know you true and true, much better than Rockefeller or the Tories know you. They know your worst weaknesses, as you ought to know them. They have sacrificed you to a symbol, and you have given them power over you. You yourself have raised up your masters, and you go on supporting them although, or perhaps because, they have cast off all masks. They have told you plainly, you are and always will be an inferior, incapable of responsibility. You call them guides or redeemers and shout, hurrah, hurrah. I'm afraid of you, little man, very much afraid, because the future of mankind depends on you. I'm afraid of you because your main aim in life is to escape from yourself. You're sick, little man, very sick. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to get well. You'd have shaken off your oppressors long ago if you hadn't countenanced oppression and often given it your direct support. No police force in the world would have the power to crush you if you had an ounce of self-respect in your daily life. If you were aware, really aware, that without you, life could not go on for 1 hour. Has your liberator told you this? He called you workers of the world, but he didn't tell you, and you alone are responsible for your life, and not for the honour of the fatherland. You've got to realise that you've raised up your little men to be oppressors, and made martyrs of your truly great men, that you've crucified and stoned them, or let them starve, that you've never given a moment's thought to them, or what they've done for you, that you haven't the faintest idea who brought you the true benefits of your life. Before I trust you, I want to know where you stand. When I tell you where I stand, you'll go running to the district attorney, or the Committee on Un-American Activities, or the FBI, or the GPU, or your favourite scandal sheet, or the Ku Klux Klan, or the various leaders of the world proletariat. I am neither a white nor a black, nor a red nor a yellow. I am neither a Christian nor a Jew, nor a Mohammedan nor a Mormon. I am neither a polygamist nor a homosexual nor an anarchist. I embrace a woman because I love and desire her, not because I have a marriage certificate or because I'm sex-starved. I don't beat children, I don't fish or hunt, even though I'm a good shot and enjoy shooting at targets. I don't play bridge, and I don't give parties to air my ideas. If my ideals are sound, they'll air themselves. I don't submit my work to any medical authority unless he understands it better than I do, and I decide who understands my discoveries and who doesn't. I observe to the letter of all laws that make sense, but combat those that are obsolete or absurd. Don't go running to the district attorney, little man. If he's an honest man, he does the same. I want children and young people to enjoy physical love without hindrance. I do not believe that to be religious in the best, authentic sense, a man has to destroy his love of life and mummify himself, body and soul. I know that what you call God really exists, but not in the form you think. God is primal cosmic energy, the love in your body, your integrity, and your perception of the nature in you and outside of you. If anyone, on any pretext whatsoever, tried to interfere with my work as a physician or educator, I'd throw him out. And if called into court, I'd ask him certain clear, simple questions that he'd be unable to answer without feeling ashamed for the rest of his life. Because I'm a man who works, who knows what a human being is like inside, who knows that every human being has his worth, and who wants the world to be governed by work and not by opinions about work. I have my own opinion, and I can distinguish lies from the truth, which I use as a tool every hour of the day, which I clean when I finish using it and keep clean. I'm afraid of you, little man, very much afraid. I haven't always been so. I myself was a little man, among millions of little men. Then I became a scientist and psychiatrist. I learned to see how very sick you are, and how dangerous in your sickness. I learned to see that it's your own psychic disorder, and not any superior power outside you that holds you down, daily, hourly, even in the absence of external coercion. You'd have become the tyrants long ago if you'd been inwardly alive and sound. In the past your oppressors sprang from the upper classes of society, but today they spring from your own ranks. They are even littler men than you, little man. They must be very little indeed to know your wretchedness from their own experience, and on the basis of this knowledge to oppress you more efficiently and more cruelly than ever before.